Far Cry Primal is an action-adventure game and really isn't that different than the regular Far Cry series on paper, except it's set in the Stone Age. And being it's prehistoric, your regular gameplay like vehicles and gunplay just aren't there. You have to craft all the weapons and gradually build skills like making fire and cooking food. You can also have companion animals like saber-toothed tigers and badgers, and a pet owl, which you can directly control and find out more about your environment. Honestly, once you get the full description, it sounds bizarre, but kudos to Ubisoft for trying something different here. Number 19, Hitman, is the latest in a series that has kind of gotten some flack recently. It's serving as a prequel rather than a reboot, and is going out of its way to kind of return to the roots of the series. The levels are all essentially sandboxes, and you can do what you want to advance the mission objectives. Contracts mode is also coming back, so fans of the series should probably be excited. Number 18, Blade and Soul is a MMORPG that combines open world mechanics with a combination of various martial arts. There's various PvE and PvP events, as well as a pretty extensive combo system to make the combat feel reminiscent of a fighting game. Number 17, Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I don't know if you ever played the original game, but it's a really great game, albeit with a few minor flaws, and from the sounds of it, the developers are trying to address all of those in the new version. Its build is neither a reboot or a prequel, but basically being an origin story that kind of sounds like a reboot and a prequel to me. One way or the other, I don't really care. Supposedly the mechanics are vastly improved, and they started off great last game, so I can't really see any reason to think this will be anything other than fantastic. Number 16, Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Basically what looks like a very triumphant evolution of human revolution. Mankind Divided continues to follow Adam Jensen, who's working to stop terrorist attacks. The plot will find Jensen basically attempting to find balance between whatever shadowy organization runs who he works for, as well as demanding equality for augmented individuals, which are looked at as a threat thanks to the events of the previous game, and indeed the climate in general. Number 15, Torment Tides of Numenera is essentially a spiritual successor to Planetscape Torment. The game is an absolutely beautiful reminder that a game doesn't have to be entirely 3D in order to be gorgeous. Do RPGs have to be third-person follow-along games? No, they don't. And I'd like to thank the developers of Torment for showing everybody a great-looking example that seems like it's really going to be a nice shot in the arm for the genre. Number 14, Kingdom Come Deliverance is a 15th century role-playing game that takes place in Bohemia. It features a classless role-playing system, as is seeming to be a rising trend, that allows players to customize their skills and create the roles that they want to take on their own. On top of a really varied combat system, the game also features a needs system which requires you to sleep and eat in order to stay healthy. Equipment and clothing degrades and requires repair. Basically, you're not just fighting enemies, you're also fighting time. Number 13, Rise of the Tomb Raider is breaking out of Xbox One exclusive hell and landing on the PC in January. Now, if you've played the reboot, you know that the gameplay has improved massively over the original series. But Rise of the Tomb Raider really just refines the idea of an open world game to be something that doesn't distract you away from your main quest. Really, it's a delicate balance, and Rise of the Tomb Raider nails it. I can't wait. It'll be nice not to have to boot up Xbox One to play it. Number 12, Divinity Original Sin 2. What's particularly cool about this is that there's going to be a skill crafting system. Where we've been talking about classless role-playing games for a while now, this is just that to the nth degree. On top of that, it's calling its friendship, romantic relationship, and hatred system Love and Hate. An obvious but well-titled system. Number 11, Mass Effect Andromeda. Not a whole lot is known about this game, but can you believe we're going to be able to continue the Mass Effect series? That's the main takeaway for me. I love Mass Effect. The games are just fantastic, and each entry to the series just got better and better, and by the time we got to the end of it, it was a very smooth, well-polished shooter on top of having a great overreaching plot. I can't wait to dive back into the universe and explore the Andromeda galaxy with a new cast that hopefully is able to mimic the attachment that we all felt to the original. Number 10, Star Citizen. That's right, Star Citizen is supposedly finally going to launch next year, and that means both Squadron 42 and Star Citizen: The Persistent Universe itself. Both are very different, Squadron 42 being a single-player experience, a campaign that takes place within the universe of Star Citizen, and Star Citizen than being a massively multiplayer online persistent universe that you can basically go around and do anything in. If they actually pull this off, color me impressed, because it is possibly the biggest undertaking anyone has ever done for a computer game. Number 9. The Division is a Tom Clancy game in which you take the role of an officer going around a seemingly post-apocalyptic world and fighting with people online. It looks like a pretty innovative game, and we're all very impressed with it. We just kind of want it to come out. Number 8, World of Warcraft Legion, the 6th expansion set to the massively multiplayer online game. Obviously, World of Warcraft is what I'm talking about. Not only will this expansion increase the level cap to 110, it will also bring a number of new weapons as well as changes to player classes. On top of that, a new hero class joins the game in the Demon Hunter. There's a whole new plot and a much expanded setting, and WoW fans are obviously going to need this expansion pack. Number 7, Ashes of Singularity is aiming to deliver a brand new real-time strategy type experience by bringing in scale. The game claims to be the first native 64-bit RTS game, which in theory would provide it much more access to system resources, and uses a new 3D engine that fully leverages all multi-core functions in modern PCs. It's also among the first, if not the first, to support Microsoft's new DirectX 12, and if the game plays as good as its list of technical features, frankly it's going to be quite the game. Number 6, Dishonored II. Okay, where to start? The original Dishonored is fantastic. It is phenomenal. If you haven't played it and you like stealth or first-person shooters or unique games or great level design, play it. I really truly cannot imagine a scenario where the second Dishonored game isn't really good. And judging from the gameplay trailer, which shows us so many new powers and possibilities, plus the prospect of playing as Emily Caldwin as a fully realized powerful adult, ooh, I can't wait. Number 5, Total War Warhammer is a turn-based RTS, which follows the Total War gameplay, but places it instead of in a historical setting into the Warhammer universe. And I don't know about you, but knowing how good the Total War games are, and knowing how cool the Warhammer universe is, I have to say my body is ready. Please give me the RTS Warhammer game. Thank you. Number 4, Paragon is a character-based shooter game, and that is kind of the extent we know about it. It's made by Epic Games, who created Unreal Tournament, the Gears of War series, and even Infinity Blade. Now, they have a lot of experience with good shooters, clearly. So I'm thinking that Paragon is probably going to be exactly that. Number 3, XCOM 2. This sequel to Enemy Unknown will take place 20 years later and assume that XCOM lost. XCOM 2 will obviously continue the story and build on the turn-based tactics battle model that was really great in Enemy Unknown. Number 2, Overwatch by Blizzard. Okay, yeah, not really known for first-person shooters. Overwatch really looks like an amazing effort out of Blizzard. It's colorful, it's gorgeous, it's free to play, and features squad-based combat for 2 opposing teams of 6 players apiece. It really just looks like a cool world, and the gameplay itself looks like a good balance between arcade and PC shooters. And finally, number 1 is the Doom reboot. What spent many years being refined as first Doom 4, which would have been the newest entry in a continuity, Bethesda and id Software went back to the drawing board and created a reboot. They realized they needed to take the core Doom gameplay and update it. It can't just be another shooter. It's Doom. It's the mother of all shooters. But id Software, under the guidance of Bethesda, who has done the same thing before with Fallout 3, taken a franchise and changed it significantly while retaining great elements from the originals to very good response. To put it in the simplest way possible, I believe it can happen. And after seeing the footage, I am more than excited about Doom. What are you looking forward to the most in 2016? There's a lot of games coming out, so frankly, the choices are not sparse. Leave a comment, let us know what you think, and don't forget to click the like button as well. If you haven't subscribed to GameRanks, now is a wonderful time to do so. We upload brand new videos every single day of the week. The best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription. As always, thank you very much for watching this video, and we will see you next time right here on GameRanks.